The 100LB sisters received shocking news. Amy Slaton has another child on the way. Tammy's tantrum and the secrets surrounding the baby daddy are exposed. Hello to all of you. From another exciting video. Greetings. Here to provide you the latest news, drama, and behind-the-scenes glimpses. I'm Jennifer from 90 Day Insider. Let's begin. The rumors that are going around the internet have fans in full disbelief. Fans are astonished to hear that the well-liked 1,000-pound sisters star Amy Slaton is allegedly awaiting her third kid. But this isn't just another stage in Amy's tumultuous life. No, the scandal becomes more severe and the mystery becomes more complex. The identity of Amy's child's father is left up in the air. The fire that Tammy Slaton's divisive comments have stoked has the potential to eventually eat up everything in its path. The bombshell wasn't dropped in silence. It went viral online, inspiring forums, Reddit posts, fan pages, and reaction videos. Ever since, the chaos went on. Let's take a look back. Since the start of 1000LB Sisters, Amy's journey has been emotional and tumultuous. Though never to this degree, Amy has always been in the headlines. She has struggled with extreme obesity, had possibly lethal weight loss surgery, and had to deal with escalating family disputes. Her marriage to Michael Halterman quickly soured after a brief period of bliss. Their marriage was failing at the same time that Amy gave birth to Glenn, their second child. Soon, viewers caught a sight of a distant, darker side, such as confrontations, participation of CPS, custody issues, 911 calls, and complete collapse. Amy, strained and heartbroken, tried to collect herself in public. Then the healing process started. Amy was granted custody of her kids again. She began seeing a new man, Brian Lovorn. She smiled in selfies. Her cryptic posts about fresh starts gave fans the impression that she had found some serenity. Peace, however, is the final thing we perceive. Amy was pregnant with her third child, a Facebook post that went viral. And fans weren't prepared for the father. The internet was broken by that one comment. Within minutes, fan pages were ablaze with speculation. Is Amy expecting a child again? Is it a child of Michael? Hold on, is that someone else's or Brian's? But after that, petrol was flung onto the fire. Tammy Slaton, who is never one to back away from the harsh truth, said something extremely offensive on TikTok Live. You guys don't believe what you read? Amy isn't expecting a child. That is absolutely fake. And if she was, wouldn't we be talking about who the father was? Then she started giggling. Fans couldn't believe it. Did she deny the pregnancy? Or was she gently acknowledging it while pouting at her sister? The drama had gained popularity, and the TikTok video was inevitably reposted on Reddit, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and Twitter X. There are many who believe Tammy knows something she shouldn't have shared. According to some, she was just trolling since she often does. But practically everyone acknowledges that something isn't quite right. How about Amy? She has completely ceased speaking. Don't deny. There's nothing to say. Nothing. No enigmatic emojis. No affirmation. In the hole left by her silence, the internet is doing what it does best. Spinning a web of ridiculous theories that are starting to feel real. Let's talk about their theories. The most common assumption is that Brian Lovorn, Amy's new companion, is the baby's proprietor. They have been together for months, appear stable, and are active on and off social media. He rarely shows up with her two sons, which is the catch. He is said to be deliberately distant. Others say he's just bashful or private. Now, many are wondering why, if he is going to become a father, he hasn't come forward publicly sooner. The idea that Amy had a one-night fling or brief affair after her breakup with Michael is the more contentious one. This report claims that Amy was looking for love, emotionally depleted, and susceptible. Several fans claim to have seen her out with an unnamed man in mid-2025, just before she became radio quiet. Perhaps the most explosive of them, however, is the idea that brings up her ex-husband, Michael Halterman. Amy and Michael reportedly had a brief reconciliation around the time she was granted custody of the boys again, according to leaked direct messages that were allegedly from a family member but have not been verified. They were said to be working things out and spending time together as a family. Would a get-together? Have you had a second child, even if it was only a short one? No one knows for sure. The timelines remain uncertain though. It's unclear what the facts are. And the dead are quiet. Meanwhile, the fans are losing their minds. There are hundreds of comments on every post. When she is unable to handle this scenario, why add a third child? This is a sad situation. If it's true, the baby needs stability, not more turbulent drama. Hopefully, this isn't TLC's fault. This leads us to the following twist. Does TLC play a role? Many now believe that this could be a fabricated or exaggerated story point for Season 8 of 1,000-Pound Sisters. The numbers for the show have been decent, but nothing special lately. A surprise pregnancy coupled with a paternity mystery, public gossip, and family strife. That is reality TV's crown jewel. TLC has a history of distorting facts and fabricating real-life events. Is this another case? Was Tammy's comment a planned teaser to build anticipation for the show? If TLC is. In doing so, they have surely been successful. Everyone is talking. However, it is important to consider the human cost of this spectacle. Amy's been through a lot. 2 high-risk pregnancies. An emotionally abusive marriage. Public body shaming. Her parenting is constantly criticized. Protecting her kids. Maintaining her family's unity. Now she's being studied under a microscope again, but this time it's darker. This time, the murmurs are more intense. Individuals are not just wondering what's happening this time. They are trying to find out how Amy Slaton is doing. How about Tammy? She may have misspoken, harbored resentment, or found her comment amusing. But regardless of her intentions, the repercussions have been catastrophic. Their already tight relationship could be on the verge of disintegrating once more. Co-stars who were sisters turned into combatants. All this for a baby that may or may not exist. Amy Slaton's reality. The state of pregnancy is uncertain. We don't know who the father is. We don't know if Tammy's comments were sarcastic, offensive, or worse. However, we are aware that the Slaton family is once again caught in the midst of a storm. And it looks like everything could be destroyed by this one. If Amy is pregnant, she will eventually have to make her pregnancy public. If she isn't, she will still have to explain the silence. In either case, fans are asking for answers. They also won't quit till they comprehend. Is Amy Slaton? Are you expecting a third child? Who is the father? Additionally, we would be discussing the father's identity. What was Tammy trying to say? We bide our time until then. We speculate and prepare for what may prove to be the most spectacular episode in the history of the 1,000-Pound Twins, Season 8. Because this isn't just a reality show anymore. This is the real world. Additionally, it's messier than before. Amy Slaton, one of the 1,000-Pound Sisters, recently announced the birth of her new child with partner Brian Scott Levorn. She is currently engaged to him. When Amy first appeared on 10,000-Pound Sisters, she was married to her high school lover, Michael Hulteman. Despite having 2 children together, the couple's relationship deteriorated over time as Amy felt overworked by her new responsibilities and Michael's lack of support. Ultimately, in late 2023, they decided to file for divorce. The plot of 1,000 LB Sisters Season 7 has been moving quickly forward due to Amy's obsession with Brian. Just 5 months after they began, Amy and Brian, who have been dating, are excited to declare their engagement. They also welcomed a new family member recently. In a TLC video, Amy and Brian formally announced their engagement and thanked their fans for their support. According to Amy, Brian first proposed to her with a ring pop, which she took for granted. In the video, he even called her pet snake our new kid and said, somewhat sarcastically, "This is the only baby y'all going to have." However, later, in the cushioned chamber of, she happily accepted his proposal at Henderson Haunt's haunted home in Kentucky. The effects on Amy and Brian's relationship of their new baby. Brian and Amy are not in a haste to have children. Amy doesn't appear ready for her third biological child. When she first appeared on 1,000 LB Sisters, she was excited about the prospect of starting a happy family with Brian, but she also wanted children. Shortly after dropping a considerable amount of weight, she had weight reduction surgery because her self-control and tenacity. Her weight loss allowed her to conceive and give birth to her sons, Glenn and Gage. However, she was unable to cope with the demands of parenthood. She was despondent, and her husband Michael was of no assistance. At times, Amy needed help from her sister, Amanda Halteman, to care for her sons. She is hesitant to talk about having kids in her relationship with Brian as a result. Amy and Brian are not in a haste to start a family. She seems to be assessing Brian's preparation for future shared responsibilities, such as parenting, by getting him a pet, despite having accepted his proposal within 5 months of their first date. Taking care of a pet together could show how they support and connect with each other in their daily life. What we think about Amy bringing Brian as a pet. Amy wants her and Brian's relationship to grow naturally. Brian appeared ecstatic when Amy clarified that they weren't intending to have a child immediately. About bringing her a new child. Because she wants to allow her relationship with Brian time to develop without the pressure of caring for a newborn, she is adopting a more deliberate approach to family life. However, by referring to the snake as their baby, Amy and Brian have shown how deeply they are connected. They appear committed to each other and ready to tackle any challenge. It symbolizes the development of a life together for the 1,000-pound sister's marriage, even though it isn't a real child. In spite of her incredible. I'm starting to fear that the 1,000-pound sister's season 6 star is endangering everything because of her weight decrease throughout the years. Since day one, the Slaton sisters have been my faves, and I like the show. By pursuing their weight loss goals, I witnessed Amy, 37, and her sister Tammy Slaton, 38, completely change their life. In order to accomplish a lot, they have both worked very hard. When I saw one of them behave in a manner that could reverse all of their hard-won achievements, I'm devastated. When the unscripted show premiered in 2020, Amy weighed over 400 pounds, while Tammy weighed over 600 pounds. Together, Amy and Tammy weighed 1,000 pounds, which is how the show got its memorable name. Both sisters have lost a significant amount of weight since undergoing gastric bypass surgery. Even with all of her achievements, Amy's diet and exercise regimen have never been perfect. I'm confused by some of Amy's food choices. Tammy has been focusing on her health and fitness, but is the 1,000-pound sister season 6 star putting her gastric bypass surgery at risk? Amy has always struggled with her weight. She wanted to have children. Amy fought her weight all of her life. Because their mother worked so much, the siblings were left to fend for themselves, just like the other Slaton siblings. They didn't make the best food selections. When Amy made her TV debut on 1000 lb Sisters, she weighed 408 pounds. She had recently been married and yearned to have children, but her weight was standing in the way. The path. After surgery, Amy shed 125 pounds, and she gave birth to 2 healthy sons, Gage and Glenn Halteman. Amy had gastric bypass surgery to reduce her weight. When Amy stepped on a scale in the first episode of 1000 lb Sisters, her weight was 408. Because she hadn't weighed herself in a long time and hadn't realized how much she had gained, she broke down in tears. The fact that she had to weigh in on an industrial scale further irritated her. Dr. Charles Proctor conducted gastric bypass surgery on Amy in 2019. According to the Mayo Clinic, gastric bypass limits a patient's food intake by splitting their stomach and rerouting all of their meals into a smaller, more manageable pouch. Amy tried Mr. Beastburg and ate a lot of fast food. Since having weight reduction surgery and giving birth to her sons, Amy has mostly maintained her weight, albeit she hasn't shed as much as she should have. When she stepped on the scale during season 6 of 10,000 lb Sisters, it registered 237 pounds. Amy lost a total of 169 pounds. Her physician advises her to, before undergoing skin removal surgery to remove the excess skin, she has to lose an additional 30 pounds. Considering Amy's recent comments on social media, I'm wondering if that's possible. Late in February, Amy posted a TikTok of herself and her boyfriend Brian enjoying fast food in a hotel room. In the video, Amy explained that they had been on the road and had come to town after most of the haunts had closed. Amy captions the picture of her trying Mr. Beastburg, saying, "It's important to remember that Amy's stomach was Supporters are concerned about Amy's diet because she is physically diminished by the gastric bypass, making overeating dangerous for her. I wouldn't be as concerned about Amy eating a fast food hamburger if she didn't seem to have put on weight. I won't gain 200 pounds from one hamburger. I was concerned about Amy's eating habits, but I wasn't alone. In the comments section, fans voiced their concerns. It's sad to see you gain weight after losing so many pounds, one user said. Please exercise caution. Another remark was, remember, you have diabetes, sweetie. You don't want to put on weight again. After revealing her current weight and giving a major relationship update, 10,000 lb sisters Amy Slaton is once again in hot water for her reckless behavior. Amy's response was, I never had diabetes, and one hamburger is not going to make me gain 200 pounds. I'm sorry we got there late and there wasn't much open. I'm still cheering for the 1,000 lb sister star, and I hope she's right. After undergoing bariatric surgery in 2019 to begin a family, Amy lost between 176 and 200 pounds through diet, exercise, gardening, and active parenting. Having Gage and Glenn has been both life-affirming and challenging, particularly since her divorce from Michael Halterman in 2023. Amy has openly battled addiction, PTSD, depression, and bipolar disorder, using medication and treatment to cope. Amy got engaged to Brian Leavorn on Season 7 of 100 lb Sisters, and she is expecting a new baby. Relationship, but establishing a healthy home for her boys has not been easy. Amy and Brian were arrested when they endangered the safety of her kids in a zoo. Amy has been active on Instagram lately, sharing a lot of pictures of her sons, but even those are attracting criticism. Reddit user RealCrafter49 shared a screenshot of Amy's most recent Instagram photo, saying, not the nails again. Amy was seen making a cake with a Toy Story theme and stating, goodies boxes are. Fans pointed out that Amy was using her hands with dirty nails to bake a cake. As user Trick Cook, 6776, noted, fans left comments trying to figure out how she got them. The most widely accepted theories were that Amy was getting black spray paint under her fingernails, or that she was in the garden every day without gloves. Her fingers don't look like this when Anxious_effort went on, the significance of Amy's poor personal hygiene during her amazing weight loss. Watch previous seasons. Amy has been enjoying the life she has always wanted. Amy has had a lot to be grateful for recently. Prior to meeting Brian, Amy had been in a series of failed relationships following her divorce. She became engaged to him within months, casting doubt on his genuineness. However, Amy has continued to support Brian online. Furthermore, the fact that she named her new business Amy. According to Loveorn Creation, she is his wife. Amy has been anticipating her wedding for the past year. Additionally, she stated on television that she currently weighs 249 pounds and seems happy with that weight. Amy has made making art her full-time passion. She has launched her own business, made her first big sale, and continues to share pictures of her creative pursuits on social media, for which she gets a lot of praise. Amy's admirers always remind her that her hygiene is she seems to be lacking in only one aspect of her life. Since Amy chooses to disregard the criticism and well wishes of her admirers, it's possible that she is unaware of what she is sharing with her 700k plus followers on her public platform. Our thoughts on Amy's post. Pictures of dirty hands and mischief. Fans dispute Amy Slaton's parenting and cleanliness. Outside of her social media pages, Amy, the star of the 10,000 lb Sisters, appears to have dirty fingernails. Recent occurrences of Amy has also been spotted with dirty nails on the show. It has led to criticism of her mothering obligations and worries about her mental health. Before sharing pictures of her hands on social media, Amy should take care to remove any paint or resin from her nails, especially if she is around food or her kids.